We are the moon, and welcome to the night. Guess what? I sent a nail through my finger.
He did.
Straight through. Not like thing, like going this way. I sent it like straight through. It came in right here, went all the way down past two knuckles. Fun story. You ready to hear about that one?
I wasn't there, so.
He wasn't. So as some of you know, I do carpentry. And we had this trim nailer. It's a 2-inch nail. But, you know.
This is my listening face.
Your listening face?
Yeah.
It was a 2-inch nail. And I was putting up some trim around windows, and I put the gun down on the ground, but as it came out of my hand, it rolled wrong. And if you know those guns, on the front where the nose where the nail comes out, you have to push it. That sets one safety release, and then you can pull the trigger. It's a safety mechanism. When it went into the dirt, it pushed the thing back and held it, and I didn't notice that. So I went, oh crap, there's a bunch of dirt on the nose. And I went to wipe it away, stupid me, and as I grabbed it, I bumped the trigger trying to just grab the handle. Bumped the trigger, and so it was just grab. I didn't even brush it yet. I didn't. I only had my hand there getting ready to brush it, maybe, and take a look. And so my hand was just in front of it, accidentally bumped the trigger, and boom! Gun falls out of my hand. Oh, that hurt. Turn around, I look, and I'm like, did I seriously just do this? Because it was like a dream, you know? Like when these things happen, you're like, am I dreaming? This is weird. This is messed up. It can't be real.
It can't be real. This didn't just happen.
But I looked at my finger, it was real pain, and I could see the nail. And it went in. And then it like exited and re-entered right away and went down farther into my finger. And I couldn't bend it, obviously, and it was the weirdest feeling. So I walk around to the guy I'm working with, and I go, Jeremy, I just nailed my finger. I put a nail in my finger, and he's like, what? And I'm calm. I'm usually calm with these situations. After my initial like, oh, that hurt, I was like, okay. So I went to him, I said that, and I had a pretty calm face. And so his reaction was also pretty calm. And he's looking at me going, where? I don't see any nail, because he thought it was going like through my finger. And so he's like, oh, you got a nail in your finger? That's cool. And so there's just this nail, 2-inch nail sticking in there. And he's like, all right, now we have to get that out. I was like, yeah, we have to pull this thing out before my finger starts to gain feeling again, because it's going to hurt. So we go and we grab a needle nose pliers.
What you should have done is shot a nail through your other finger on your other hand, but in an easier...
Just to pull it out? Just to get rid of the pain?
Just to help even out, balance it.
Well, okay, so the head is just barely sticking out of my finger, and he takes the pliers, grabs it, and as he grabs it, I can already feel the pain. I was like, oh, man! And he's like, do you want me to do this, or do you want to pull it out? I was like, I'm not pulling this out, I'm not going to get it straight. So I hold my wrist, and he's standing right here, and he just pulls it, and little blood splatter. I was like, oh, that hurt. I'm just like, and so it's just a little trickling blood coming out of 2 spots, and it was an eventful day. It was wonderful. I went, lay down, and read the paper for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
While I calmed myself. Yeah.
Fun stuff. So we thought.
It didn't really.
You didn't break
swell.
anything.
No, it didn't even hit a nerve. It didn't hit the bone. It just went straight in through the muscle, and it swelled up like barely anything for like an hour, and that was only like 3 hours or 5 hours after it happened, way after. So yeah.
Yeah. So we thought we would talk about scars and mishaps today.
Yeah.
Because that was his big mishap today.
Happened early in the morning too, so I had to work with it all day. And it still, I can feel it. It still throbs. I can feel the pulse in there. I can't even fully bend my finger.
My most recent mishap was more idiotic than that. Because at least yours was like oh, let me brush dirt off.
Yeah,
I don't
well, even
realize
still,
the
it was-
safety mechanism is
Engaged. I still should have undone the air hose. That would have been
Yeah.
the smart thing. All right, here's my listening face.
So, I am in apparel design, or pre-apparel design, at the University of Minnesota, and somebody dropped an iron and it broke a plastic cover
Ooh.
on the top. Not a big deal. I mean, it lets you spray water for ironing to
Mm-hmm.
mist your fabric,
Mm-hmm.
get a good press out of it. So the teacher's assistant was trying to put it back in, and she's kind of a small, frail woman. And I thought, or I think she asked me if I would help because I was ironing with the other iron. And she said, hey, I can't get enough pressure on this. Do you think you could come and put some pressure to like pop this thing back into place? And I was like, yeah, sure, I can try. So I put the plastic thing in there, and I had my hand in the handle of the iron with this thumb on it, and this thumb and my fingers flared out like this. And I was trying to put pressure down, and I thought, geniusly, I need to have more leverage,
Pulling pressure.
pulling pressure. I wrapped my fingers around the back of the iron and gave it a good squeeze, but then pulled my fingers off right away because
Oh, it burns. Really?
Really? Let me try. Yeah, it burns. It does burn. And so I was like, I just burned myself. And the teacher's assistant was like, you should probably go run water on that. And I was like,
Maybe.
yeah, you're probably right. And I walked over, I started putting water on it, and it was like a couple seconds into me running water on it, then it started to hurt. It didn't really hurt all that much, probably because I fried all my nerves. Literally fried them. Fried all of my nerves.
Well, that was pure idiot right there.
Yeah,
that was
pure idiot.
straight idiot.
They bubbled up nice and good. I've got pictures, I can put those on there. And yes, it was magnificent. It was magnificent.
Number 2 for me. I once had a hole in my cheek, crack in my jaw. Jaw was unlevel, and I had to have a plate put in my jaw.
Well, this isn't like number 2 most recent. This is
No, just a number 2 of my story. This is
My
number
story.
2. I had a plate in my jaw, keeping my jaw
Listening
put together.
face.
Yeah, put on your listening face. And my spine was a little messed up. So you're probably wondering what I did.
Was it born? Were you born messed up?
No, I was born perfect. I was as straight as the straightest board. Like, I was perfect. I ran
Another time. So remember, Twitters,
Let us know.
subscribe, and
Like it.
hashtag WTT
TT night.
night.
Let us know.
And have a good night.
Always.